Blog Talk Radio.
Stevie B's media production is a part of the Shellcaster Network.
The proclamation of the gospel of Jesus Christ by members of the Churches of Christ. With your host, Stevie R. Butler. You're listening to What a Word from the Lord radio show.
You are my protector and you are my provider and my deliverer. There's no other help I know. You are my protector and you are my provider and my deliverer. There's no other help I know. I really love the
You're listening to What a Word from the Lord radio show.
On tonight's broadcast, we have a special edition. This is the third Tuesday of the month, and my co-host, Dr. Anthereca Lane, she's a board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist from the Church of Christ at Kennedy Heights in Cincinnati, Ohio. And she'll be hosting her show on this evening's broadcast, Conversations with Dr. Lane. Take it away, Dr. Lane. Enjoy your listening experience.
Stevie B Media Productions presents, in collaboration with Lane Media and Photography, a special presentation of What a Word from the Lord radio show, featuring Conversations with Dr. Lane, hosted by Dr. Anthereca Lane, board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist. Conversations with Dr. Lane, where health and life intersect. You are listening to Stevie B and Dr. Anthereca Lane on What a Word from the Lord.
In Luke chapter 9, verse number 23, Jesus says, if anyone would follow after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily. Jesus says daily.
Oh, Jesus, how I want to. Oh, how I want to be you. You put everyone first, accepted the work that they did and love you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, Jesus, how I want to.
Jesus.
Oh, how I want to be you.
I
You
wanna
put everyone first, accepted the work that they did and love you.
Tonight, I'll tell you that I have to decide if I pick up my cross, or shake my head, or take on my pride. It's hard for me to imagine that you could get so much, not for your own, but for the sake of others, even as they curse your throne.
Oh, Jesus, how I want that.
Jesus,
How I want to be that.
how I want
You
to
put
be.
Well, welcome to the Church of Christ Digital Network focus on the National Academy of Christian Acappella Music Artists. It is often referred to as CAMA, and this year, CAMA 2024 will take place during the Thanksgiving time frame in Jacksonville, Florida. We have some exciting individuals from CAMA that we want to introduce you to. We want to show you everything exciting that's going to be happening in Jacksonville, Florida. We have John Edmerson, who is a co-executive producer of CAMA 2024. We have Pratt, who is also a co-executive producer of CAMA 2024. And we have two CAMA Award winners. We have Terri Mays and Stevie B. How are you all doing today?
Doing just fine. Good to see you guys.
Great. I know you all are just as excited about CAMA as I am coming in November of 2024. Terri, I want to start with you. You are really one of our vocal gems in the Church of Christ. You've worked with Exodus 2.0. You've worked with John Edmerson, and you've really shaped a generation of members and singers of the Church of Christ. Your voice is really, really special. Who inspires you to do what you do?
Oh, first of all, thank you. It has been a blessing and a privilege to work with as many artists as I have. My inspiration, it's going to sound like, cliche, but my inspiration comes from God. I live to do what God wants me to do. And so my inspiration just comes from encouraging people and people encouraging me in return.
Oh, that's excellent. That is excellent. And I know you've worked with singer, songwriter, and producer John Edmerson. What is it like to come into that music studio or that vocal booth and just create magic?
Well, I'm one of those people who love working in the studio. Not everyone likes working in the studio because it's just a time to create. My first time being able to go into an actual studio was with John, with Exodus, when we did our first project. And we went in with Johnny Wilder Jr., and that was just totally amazing to be in his presence and then to just work and create. I love it. I just love, it's an art, really. And it's an all-night thing. You just stay in there. You forget to eat. You forget to drink. It's just artistic time. I love it.
Oh, that's great. Now, you mentioned Johnny Wilder Jr. Who else have you had the opportunity to work with?
So I've worked with Johnny Wilder, Jerome Malone, John Poo Malone, Justin Houston, the late Gerald Burnett, missing somebody. Justin, Melody Bailey. Her name's not Bailey anymore, John. I can't remember her last name. But Melody, I've worked with her. Gary Baker.
Leandre.
Leandre. We did work with Leandre. And I'm hoping I'm not forgetting anyone.
Faith?
Oh, yeah, my baby. I have worked with her, my baby, Faith Mays. Faith D.
Well, I'm sure those collaborations were truly, truly a blessing. Now, let's get to talking about CAMA. That's why we're here today. What are your earliest memories of CAMA?
Oh, let's see. My girls were 8 and 10, I believe, when we went to Jacksonville, Florida, and it was just amazing to get on stage with them for the first time and being in their cute little dresses, and it was just amazing to get to see all these people that I've only heard on cassette at the time. And so to see all these people that I had never met was amazing.
Yeah, I would agree. We had a CAMA informational meeting recently that I was on, and I thought, oh my gosh, it was like Church of Christ celebrities. Oh my gosh, that's so and so and that's so and so. I was like, oh my goodness, it was just absolutely awesome to really see all the talent that we have in the church. Can you speak to how CAMA has really impacted your ministry?
CAMA has impacted my ministry in that it gives you exposure to other people, other artists, gives you the opportunity to rub elbows with other people who are in the music ministry. Pratt and his wife and his son did an amazing job of bringing people together. So just my opportunity to meet new people, like I said, that I've only heard on cassette. And now it just builds those relationships that I literally had someone to call me the other day and they said, I knew you were the right person to call. I often tell people I will never be homeless, ever, because I'm going to somebody's couch. So Pratt, it gave me those relationships, the close relationships that I would not have had, I don't think, had it not been for avenues such as CAMA.
Yeah, it sounds like CAMA has truly become an Acappella family in a way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, tell us, what awards have you won?
Some of my kids have won some awards. I don't know if I got Song of the Year. What's the one where you honor someone for being in the music for a while? What is that one called?
Lifetime.
Lifetime. I was honored with Lifetime one time. That was pretty cool.
Well, that tells us that you don't do this for awards.
No.
That really it's about the message and God. Terri, it's been so wonderful talking to you, and I thank you for joining us during this conversation.
Thank you. God bless you all. Can't wait to see you all again.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Hey, you. Yeah, you out there. Hey, come sing with me. Come on, get your ticket to CAMA 2024.
Don't miss out. Get your tickets for CAMA 2024.
It was so wonderful talking to Terri Mays. Of course, she is busy working and serving in the church, so we were just so glad to have a few minutes with her. But now we're going to talk a little bit to Al Pratt and John Edmerson. And first of all, I just want to take a moment and have you explain what is CAMA, what does that stand for? And then I also see NACAMA, what does that stand for? In case people are like, what is all this CAMA talk about?
Certainly. Let me just share that. I appreciate the opportunity to do so. CAMA is where we started from, actually. It stands for the Christian Acappella Music Awards. But it's really an offshoot of what we call NACAMA, which is the National Academy of Christian Acappella Music Artists. And so if you think about an association, that would be NACAMA, and the awards program, which is actually CAMA. And so that's what that is. Okay.
All right. Now, Al, can you tell us a little bit how NACAMA got started and the CAMA, the awards aspect of it? Can you just let us know how this all got started? And I mean, what a vision you had to share with the Church of Christ as well as just all over the world.
Certainly. So my background actually is music, but it was R&B music, and so that's kind of where I came from. So when I came into the church, I pretty much began working with a young group called the Four Christian Stars, and we were traveling all over the country, and we would meet all of these other artists, Straight Company, Johnny Wilder Jr., the Melody Airs, Brett Testerman, Echo, all these different groups. And so realized over a short period of time that we were all out here doing weekend warrior type things, doing concerts and programs and everything for the Churches of Christ. But there didn't appear to be any kind of recognition. And unfortunately, we had in 1992 Hurricane Andrew down in South Florida, which became, in a sense, a catalyst to kind of bring us together to do something. And so when those two things occurred, as it relates to the need to recognize and appreciate show appreciation to the artists who are out here doing such a wonderful work. And then with the hurricane, it just came together. We thank God for it.
Yeah, that's absolutely wonderful. So really, it sounds like this has been quite the journey for you for at least 30 years. I mean, who's really been instrumental in helping this vision become a reality? I know your son Zoe was very, very valuable in contributions made to CAMA over the years. Can you talk a little bit about him as well?
Oh, certainly. So again, in 1992, Zoe was about 11 years of age, and we really had a small group out of a congregation, it was Hallandale Beach Church of Christ there in Hallandale, Florida, who worked with us. But I have to tell you that even from a young age, Zoe was right there and helping with every aspect of CAMA in terms of him growing up and kind of seeing the vision that we had. And so the intent really, and I just share this in this manner, but the intent was that I was going to be diminishing as it relates to the lead, and he was going to take over. But, you know, God had his own ways. And so anytime we want to make plans, make sure we check with God first. But Zoe was just instrumental in every aspect of CAMA, and I thank God for him. But not only was it Zoe, but also my late wife, Ruby, who was just there with us in every aspect of CAMA. And so that was a great thing. But Zoe, yes, did a great job. Hey, don't wait. Get your tickets now for Jacksonville, Florida, the 2024 Christian Acappella Music Awards.
Oh, that's wonderful. It definitely takes a team. It definitely takes a family supporting the vision. So that's just absolutely a beautiful, beautiful example. And John, your family is a beautiful example of that as well. I mean, you have been seriously involved in singing, creating, and producing gospel music, I'd say for at least 35 years or more. What did it mean to you as an artist to win the prestigious CAMA?
Yeah, it was a thrill of a lifetime. Brother Pratt and I met around the early 2000s. I'd always heard about CAMA, but we really met through and by Johnny. And we, you know, just very cordial. We invited him to come to the lectureship in 2007. He came, and it was just we just hit it off. And then when he was doing CAMA in 2008, I was talking with him about assisting him, and he invited me to help him out. And really, we've been running tight ever since. It has been a blessing to work with him. I've been nominated, and I've won the Lifetime Achievement Award, which I didn't really feel like at the time I was old enough to do something like that. But you know, I'm north of 50, so I guess I'm in that frame. So I'm just humbled to be in the company of, you know, Sylvia Rose and Ron Walker and just so many others. And I'm grateful to Brother Pratt for even recognizing what little ability God has given me. And I'm looking forward to doing more. So thank you to Pratt. Thank you to CAMA. I appreciate the encouragement. And I really feel like the best is yet to come. So I'm going to try to shorten my answers, Anthereca. Sorry.
That might be a little bit challenging, John. Might be. So this question is going to be for all of you. Stevie B, I want you to jump in on this too, because I know the work that goes into these projects, just from working with John on various aspects on his projects. I remember back in the day, John, when you would drive city to city, state to state in your Ford Escort, selling tapes and CDs, trying to get the music out. It really was this indelible model of dedication, commitment, and perseverance. But I know you weren't the only one. So can each of you kind of give some names of some artists that have really laid the foundation for this very moment?
Well, I think the Straight Company, that's the first group that comes to my mind, because even before I was really into acapella gospel music the way I am now. I'm all in now. But before I even got really into it, I always heard Straight Company because I always liked their sound. And now that I'm actually doing this full time, and I have relationships now that I've established with these artists, so now I can say I actually know who these people are. You know, that means a lot. You know, playing music, because I never thought I'd be able to just play music on the radio and then actually be able to talk to artists the way that I'm talking to them. So it's like a dream come true to me, because I've always wanted to do radio growing up, you know, so I'm actually living out my dream now, you know, and I'm always bragging on these acapella artists because the music that we're putting out now is a high quality. This is no ragtag music that we're doing here, and we can compete with any other genre. So I'm just proud of the company that I'm keeping now. So I just thank God for it.
John, I know you could go back. I've only been in the church about 45 or so years, and so I might be a little short. But when I think about it, I go back to groups like Renaissance, and then at the end of it, Tabernacle, Straight Company. I named a few earlier when I talked about Acappella, Echo, Brett Testament, Timothy Tibbles, Four Christian Stars, Melody Ayers, Southwestern Christian College, in the groups that they had every year. And so there were just so many, First Four. I mean, we go back with so many different Exodus and all those groups that were coming up in the 80s and 90s, and Dothan Air. And I know it kind of regressed in terms of trying to pull some of those names, but there were just so many who we were seeing on a weekend basis as we traveled quite a bit with the Four Christian Stars. And so we were all over the country, and if those groups were not national travelers, many of them were regional at least, and so we run into so many, and yes, there were just a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. And I would probably add Willie Norwood, the Southside Singers. I would add, of course, Brother Bush and that whole Alabama connection.
Definitely, inner city.
I would add Sister Wells and the Northeast and the Eastern Airs out of Chicago. Was that Jesse Bishop and the Crusaders?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just so many that kind of paved the way. But for me personally, it would have been Ron Walker, would have been Willie Norwood, Southside, Renaissance, and Acappella. Those were my groups that I just admired. And of course, the late Johnny Wilder Jr. and Straight Company. And
then we think about ASAP and Northside Ensemble from Jacksonville. Just so many. You hate to kind of call names because you know you're going to miss somebody. Exactly. It's going to be in big trouble. But yeah, there were so many and still are quite a few.
Yeah.
So I have to come from this from a different angle because I'm still new to this. So there's just a lot of groups that I'm not familiar with. So now, since I'm playing the music, now I'm getting to see who the artists are. And it's, I haven't even scratched the surface yet. You know?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sitting here thinking, then you have to go back to soul influence. I mean, you have to go through Christian Brothers. You have to go. I'm going to get in trouble. Let me stop.
Get your tickets now for CAMA 2024. You can get all of your ticket information at NACAMA.com. That's www.NACAMA.com.
Well, those go ahead, John.
So Anthereca, one of the new things we're doing this year at CAMA is we're introducing a Hall of Service. And the objective behind the Hall of Service is to do what we've just done, is to recognize the men and women and artists and ensembles and choirs choir directors that have really laid the foundation for acapella music. I don't know if now's a good time, but maybe Pratt can share with us what he had in mind when he came up with that brilliant idea of the Hall of Service.
Well, simple. We have the Rubel Lifetime Award, which is our highest achievement. But that's only like one artist typically every 2 years. And when you think about it, there are so many outstanding artists who have, again, paved the way in Churches of Christ. And again, the era that I'm sort of coming from is probably from the 80s, and I'm sure there are so many other groups who were there even before then. But as we learn about these other groups, we certainly want to add them into it. The idea is simple. They have done such a great job. We need to recognize them in some manner. And so it's our take on what I guess others would call a Hall of Fame, but we're calling it a Hall of Service because of the service that they provided to the church, their communities, and elsewhere. And so instead of doing one, it is our intent to take a look at perhaps 7 to 9 or so groups, such as what happened just recently with ASAP, who has decided in a formal manner that they would not continue as a group to sing together. And so we know that there are so many who have either stopped or perhaps not being able to travel as much as they used to, and we certainly will want to recognize them.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I know that as artists, they're not doing things for awards, but when you work so hard to put out a wonderful product and you're trying to encourage people and edify people, then I think it's nice to have the opportunity to be acknowledged.
This is Al Pratt. You have been watching the Church of Christ Digital Network.
So CAMA 2024 is coming soon. What is it like, Al and John, to work together to bring this event to even newer generations across the country?
John, if I could kind of share, because you were being somewhat humble earlier, two things I have to tell you about John. Yes, I did go to Cincinnati, and I saw the work that he did with the National Leadership Lectureship Program. But actually, John sort of saved me. I was down in Houston, Texas, and getting ready to sign some hotel contracts, and they had all been a real challenge for me. And he stepped in and in a professional manner took over that task, and he has been doing that since that time there, 2008, I believe, in Houston. And I thank God for him. He has been a godsend. And so with Zoe not being available to me, I looked around and tried to find who would have the passion, who would have the skill set, and who was known to the industry as it relates to a true professional, and he was the person. And so I thank God for him being able to assist and stepping up to assist me and my family as it relates to my daughter, Kelly, who is also working with us a lot behind the scenes, but working with us. And so I'm looking forward to him assisting. But this year, we are just thinking that with all the things that we're doing already and the things that he's putting in place, even such as this talk that we're having, we're looking to have the greatest program that we've ever had, and looking forward to 2024 Thanksgiving weekend there in Jacksonville.
That's great. John, what's it like to work with Brother Pratt on this event?
Pratt is a legend. I mean, he you know, he is a legend. He's so highly revered among those of us who do a cappella music. We all have a lot of love and respect for the effort that he's put forth. You know, a lot of people don't know, we don't have a lot of corporate sponsors. We don't have a lot of congregations behind CAMA. For the most part, it's Brother Pratt and his family that has served as the foundation to really make it happen. CAMA grew out of his love for acapella music, his love for the church, his love for the very artists that do music. And we've just seen him work. We've seen him sacrifice. We've seen him labor. And it's just, I'm just in awe. I'm grateful. And I'm looking forward to playing the role that he's asked me to play and to lend to CAMA whatever talent and ability God has given me. I could not want more than to see CAMA grow, to see CAMA double, to see CAMA, take over Jacksonville, and to see our artists, nominated for Dove Awards and Grammys and all of that. And it kind of starts here. Things take time, but it's just been a blessing to work with Pratt. I saw his vision clearly back in the early 2000s, and we're still working on it, and I'm looking forward to helping to bring it to pass.
That's absolutely excellent. So, Stevie B, you have a show called Gospel Music Blast, and it features a lot of these artists that you all were talking about earlier. Tell us about your show and how can we listen to some more of these artists?
Well, my show is primarily for those who love acapella gospel music. So I had a vision that, okay, I'm not going to play anybody on my radio show that I'm not actually talking to, because I had to establish these relationships. It's just been a phenomenal experience. So if you're a lover of acapella gospel music, you're really going to enjoy what you're hearing on my broadcast. You can listen to these shows. I'm on Blog Talk Radio. That's the website. There's a website. You can go to that website, www.blogtalkradio.com/Gospel Light Radio Show. Or you can call to the show live to talk to me live. I'd love to holler at you while I'm on the air, 713-955-0508. And that's what we're doing on Friday night. Now, it's called The Blast because I have a military background. And I've always envisioned myself flying in airplanes and jets and dropping bombs. So that's what I'm doing on that radio show. We're dropping bombs. And Dorian Paul Williams, he's formerly of that R&B group, the Gap Band. He even said on one of our interviews, he said, man, what kind of bombs are those you dropping? He said, those are not Gap Band bombs, them Christian bombs. Bombs too,
This is John Edmerson, and you're watching the Church of Christ Digital Network.
So it's been great. We have the Song of the Week that I do, and when I feature my Song of the Week, I try to bring the artists on the show so they can talk about these songs, and we get to hear the backstory behind these songs. Who wrote the songs? Who produced the songs? So we're doing my Song of the Week. We're doing my monthly triple spin, where we're featuring 3 singles from the same artist that I play for every show for that month, just to give those artists some exposure. So we're just putting on some great shows, because if you're a lover of acapella gospel music, I think you'll really enjoy what you're hearing on these shows every Friday night.
Well, great. Well, we're going to get into the experience for CAMA 2024 in just a moment. I want to acknowledge that Stevie B has been a winner of one of the CAMA Awards. Stevie B, I know you have it nearby, don't you? Yeah, there you go.
And
what did you get your award for?
I make sure when I do my videos, because I promote these shows every week for the show advertisement, and I always make sure this CAMA Award is visible in those videos. I'm proud of this award. I mean, this is something that I never thought I would receive, because I didn't think people in radio got awards, but hey, I've been outstanding. I'm just humbled.
Oh, well, that's...
Because I love what I'm doing. You can tell I love my work. Just hear my voice
indeed.
When I'm on air. So I have fun on Friday nights.
Yes. So let's see here. John, tell us the dates for CAMA 2024, and maybe you and Al can discuss what we're going to experience. This is truly going to be an experience.
So CAMA is going to start on that Thursday night of Thanksgiving. We typically have a smaller concert for those who are gathered. Friday and Saturday, we start picking up steam. We typically do some workshops. We have some matinee concerts. some evening concerts. This year we're introducing a picnic gathering to honor the late Renette Chapman out of the Jacksonville area. And that's probably going to take place on sometime Saturday. Then the huge award nights is Saturday night. And that's when we have the largest gathering of our weekend. We've had as many as a couple thousand show. When we went to Houston, it was packed to the rafters, and we've had a lot of great turnouts over the years, and that's exactly what we're shooting for this year. So that's kind of a layout of the entire weekend. And what makes CAMA such a great value is you can get that price for that whole weekend for one low price. And with this being pre-recorded, I want to encourage you to go to NACAMA.com to see what that price is at the time that you're looking at this video. It may have changed. But if you go to NACAMA.com, NACAMA.com, you'll see a weekend ticket price. And that one price gets you into all of the events for the weekend. So that's kind of a thumbnail sketch of what we're going to be doing. Have I missed or overlooked anything, Brother Pratt?
No, I think you covered it quite well. I think the intent is, as we break it down just a little more in detail, the reason that we do, first of all, Thanksgiving weekend is from a travel standpoint. Typically, most people are either off on Thanksgiving. They many times get off on Wednesday evening and the whole day of Thanksgiving, and the Friday they have off also. And so typically we do that because of the travel abilities for individuals who are coming. And then they are back to work on Monday. And so that's the rationale behind the start. Again, this time we want to add into it the induction service for those individuals that we talked about at the Hall of Service and that picnic. I think it's just going to be a great time that we'll have for that weekend.
That sounds absolutely great. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. Look forward to seeing you all there. So, well, we're going to finish up with just give us a few words about what NACAMA or even a CAMA award, what does that mean to all of you as artists, as producers? What does it mean to the Church of Christ to have this event and this organization? We'll start with you, Stevie B.
I think it shows that we matter in what we're actually doing. Our primary goal should be the promotion of the gospel of Christ. And that's what we're trying to do, but we're doing it in song. And I have other programs where we do it in the actual preaching of the gospel. But we're doing this in song, and we're trying to sow the seed of the kingdom, but we're doing it through song. So this is the kind of attention that we're trying to muster here. We're trying to save souls.
That's great, John.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say two things. I think we're definitely trying to be in step with where gospel music is today. We're working to develop, to continue to develop our music where it can be radio ready and right in step with the Fred Hammonds and the Kirk Franklins and the others, if not a step up in terms of our production quality. So we were the first to do Acappella music, going all the way back to the first century. And we want to show today that we can still do it and do it well. In addition to that, we want to be relevant. We want to, want people to know that Acappella it still works. We have, of course, a lot of different styles of music, but Acappella is it for us. And we want to demonstrate that quality Acappella music is right in harmony, right in step, if not leading in many ways. Instruments as we understand them were crafted to mimic the human voice, not the other way around. I always enjoy creating and coming up with different production ideas so people can see how versatile Acappella music really is. So we hope that CAMA will be a big part of continuing to play in that space. And again, my gratitude to Pratt and this vision for bringing us this far.
Amen.
Brother Al, do you have anything to add?
Certainly. So, as I indicated, being a former R&B musician, when I came into the church, I found it to be the best kept secret in the world, to be honest with you. It had never even heard of the Church of Christ when I obeyed the gospel until that very day. But what I did find out later is that we have the right, according to the Word of God, to pay honor or give honor to whom honor is due. And I just thought it would be right to encourage these individuals, these great men and women of God, boys and girls of God who are sharing in their own way the skill that they have been blessed with. And what's wrong with just encouraging them? I didn't think anything wrong with it. And so that's what we kind of started with. The passion was to love music and wanted to just be able to say to them, keep on going. Keep on doing what you're doing because it's a wonderful thing. It certainly has brought me out of many situations as it relates to just the ability to listen and listen to the words and just the melodies and just the beauty of acappella music. And so we want to continue that, but we want to, as John indicated, take it even further. Brother Johnny Wilder always talked to us about the quality and making sure that we are doing the things that we needed to do to be able to be radio ready, to encourage our people to get the skills and understand how the industry works. And so for all of those reasons, I think CAMA is still, there's a major need for it, especially as we go into our younger generations. And so we're just hoping to do a better job at it, encouraging people, having a great time. And this year we're moving back to our gala. And so for our sisters, it's time to bring out that gown and enjoy bringing it out for once a year or whenever you do bring it out. And our brothers with your tuxes and anything else you want to do. But we just want to have a grand old time at this year's award program.
That is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. It has been wonderful to have a conversation with Al Pratt, John Edmerson, Terri Mays, and Stevie B about CAMA 2024 coming up November 28th through the 30th at Jacksonville, Florida. We want you to go to www.NACAMA, that's N as in Nancy, A, C as in cat, A, M as in Mary, A.com, NACAMA.com for more information and more details. Well, thank you very much. This has been the Church of Christ Digital Network. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Hey, don't wait. Get your tickets now for Jacksonville, Florida, the 2024 Christian Acappella Music Awards.
You have been listening to Dr. Anthereca Lane with Conversations with Dr. Lane, a special segment of What a Word from the Lord. Back to you, Stevie B.
You're listening to What a Word from the Lord radio show.
Going home. Oh, oh, oh. I'm going home. I'm going home. Going home. To see my Lord. Said I'm going home. I'm going home. Said I am going home to see my Lord. Going home. Yes, I am. Oh, oh, oh. One of these moments that won't be long. Y'all gonna look for me. I'll be going on home. I'm gonna fly away to a better place. I can hardly wait. No, 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 no. Going home. Hey, yeah, yeah. worry about things, y'all. I'm going on home. See the King. Whoa, whoa. Hey, said I am going home. Boy, yes I am. Going on home. One more thing. All of my loved ones going on before y'all. Don't see them again. Over on the other shore, and we will meet again. Waiting on the sky, we'll be together forever. Won't have to say bye-bye. Wanna see my mother, my loved ones, y'all. But most of all, y'all, I wanna see my Lord. The one that died, gave his life, and paid the price. Yeah, I can't wait to see his face. I'll thank him for his word. Hey, oh Lord, yeah, one more thing. Yeah, if anybody down here start looking for me, yeah, now just do me one favor and tell them for me. Hey, tell them y'all going home. Tell them that I'm going on. And I got one question to ask you this is, don't you wanna go home? 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 Said I wanna go home. 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 I wanna go home, yeah, 'cause I wanna see Jesus. I wanna see Jesus way up in the sky where we will never die. To wash the tears from my eyes. I don't have to cry no more. Over on the other shore. Yeah, 'cause I wanna go. Don't you wanna go? Don't you wanna go home? Said I wanna go home. No, I can't wait to fly away. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. When I get home, no more cry, no more tears, no more pain. See my Jesus, I take his hand, and we'll walk all over God. Oh yes we will. Tell him how we made it over, through the struggles of life, through the pain. Oh yes we did.
You're listening to What a Word from the Lord radio show.
This is a program reminder. Stevie B Media Productions presents. We're airing live shows here on Blog Talk Radio. The telephone number to the live show is 319-527-6776. The website to the live show is www.blogtalkradio.com/Gospel Light Radio Show. On Tuesday evening, I'm hosting a live show, What a Word from the Lord radio show, and this show will air every second, third, and fourth Tuesday of the month. The second Tuesday of the month, the show will air from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have a special guest speaker from the Brotherhood of the Churches of Christ who will be making their proclamation of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Also during that show, we have the Community Corner segment. That segment is designed for small business owners and entrepreneurs who have products and services for our communities. I also have two co-hosts on that show. Lou Gilbert, he serves with the Timothy Church of Christ there in Houston, Texas. And my co-host, Isa Mullins, he serves as the evangelist for the Helen Street Church of Christ in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And then on the third Tuesday of the month, that show will air at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. My co-host is Dr. Anthereca Lane. She's a board-certified obstetricianist and gynecologist, and she serves with the Church of Christ at Kennedy Heights in Cincinnati, Ohio. And she'll be hosting her show, Conversations with Dr. Lane. And on the fourth Tuesday of the month, that show will air at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And my co-host is Paul Sanders. He's the evangelist for the Smithsonian Church of Christ in Florence, Alabama. And he'll be hosting his show, The Paul Sanders Show. And there also on Thursday night, I'll be hosting a live show, the Gospel Light radio show, and that show will air from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I have 8 co-hosts on that show who will be presenting lessons from the Word of God. And my co-host is Clay Phillips from the state of Georgia, Dr. Frank Washington Jr. from the state of Florida, Steve Carter from the state of Illinois, Manuel B. Jonathan from the state of Alabama, Glenn McMillian from the state of Texas, Stanley Hubbard from the state of Indiana, and Yusuf Ford from the state of Indiana, and John Foster from the state of North Carolina. And these gentlemen will be presenting lessons from the Word of God, and each week I have 2 of my co-hosts on the air with me. I'm also taking a question from my social media platform on Facebook called Shout It Out. I'll be posing to one of my co-hosts on that live show. Then on Friday night, I'm hosting the live show, Stevie B Acappella Gospel Music Blast, and that show will air from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. And this radio show is the 2022 recipient for the NACAMA, National Academy of Christian Acappella Music Artist Award for Outstanding Achievement in Record or Radio. On this show, I'm playing some of the world's greatest Acappella Gospel Music artists, the sweet sounds of voices. We're also interviewing artists, producers, writers, and we're also debuting new music and featuring old music on that broadcast as well. And every quarter now, we're doing our top 20 countdown show. We also have on-demand episodes. There's just a variety of musical platforms that you can listen to these shows on. Go to Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple iTunes, YouTube, just to name a few. Just search for Stevie B Media Productions. Also, we have recorded version shows. These shows were album debuts mostly, and the same playlist was used on the live show was on Blog Talk Radio is used on these recorded version shows. But these recorded version shows can only be heard on iHeartRadio, on Deezer, and also on Amazon Music. Just search for Stevie B recorded version shows. I want to thank all my sponsors who are sponsoring these radio shows. If you'd like to become a sponsor, just contact my sponsorship manager, Michelle Marco from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and her telephone number is 954-687-4705. The 3 E's of Stevie B Media Production. It is the objective of this broadcast. We want to educate, we want to edify, we want to encourage you in the study of God's Word. And that will conclude our program announcements.
You're listening to What a Word from the Lord radio show.
I'm gonna keep on climbing this mountain till I reach higher ground. Can't turn around. I can't turn around. Oh no, no, I ain't gonna stop now. Anybody out there? So the storm wind blows, having trials and tribulation. I just want to encourage you. Moving on. Keep moving on. I need somebody who's been through something to help me now. I've had some ups and downs, hard times in my life. I've had to wipe so many tears from my weeping eyes. I know the pain will last only for a night. That's why I'll hold on till the morning light. You see the suffering we're going through, it don't compare to the dresses that wait for us over there. I gotta keep on climbing, though sometimes it may get hard. But we ain't gonna stop till we reach the top. No matter what comes my way, I ain't gonna stop now. And even though the strong winds I've gotta keep moving on, till I make it home. Ain't it something how, y'all, when we get down, how the devil tries to make us think there is no way out. Maybe you lost someone that was close to you. Maybe you're sick and there's nothing you can do. Oh yeah. Just keep your eyes to the sky when times get hard. Keep pressing toward the prize. Oh, you see, our trials, they won't last for long. They only make us so we gotta keep on holding
obligation. It gets hard sometimes, and I don't understand. I don't understand. Why things don't always go the way that I planned it. Sometimes we just can't see. I keep on trusting, gotta keep on climbing, keep on fighting. Everything's alright. Weeping may endure for the night. Joy comes in the morning light. Higher ground. Oh yeah. Step by step. Keep on praying. Keep on climbing. Keep on moving. Gotta keep on. Stop moving on.
You're listening to What a Word from the Lord radio show.